Now, this morning, a scathing new book is shedding some light on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's war with the Windsors. Extracts from Tom Bower's book Revenge paints Meghan as an entitled actress who was convinced of her self-importance, believing she would be the star of the royal family.
Let's bring in 900 commentator Natalie Oliveri with all the details. Nat. All right, let's get into this juicy,
the title says it all, doesn't it?
What are some other things that came out?
Good morning. Look, it's very much a book focused on revenge, and it's got Meghan in its sights. Really, it doesn't paint her in a good light at all. A few weeks ago, this was said to be the book Meghan was dreading, and we can see why from what's been printed so far. It really does focus on the rift between the Sussexes and the royal family. In particular, how ill-prepared Meghan was when she married Prince Harry. Bower really paints Meghan as someone who is entitled, and she had these grand plans to change the monarchy and wanted to get rid of all the old ways and bring in this new modern approach. Now, one of the biggest claims is that Meghan felt she was the new Princess Diana, and it was actually Harry who encouraged that belief. Now, it was on the Australian royal tour and the success of the royal tour that Harry and Meghan were convinced, and I quote, that they were blessed with Diana's magic. And it was the more Harry drew parallels with his mother and Meghan, the more she was convinced of her importance within the monarchy.
So it's his fault.
A lot of it is. And it also talks about Meghan's time as an actress and how Hollywood wanted absolutely nothing to do with her. She really did struggle to get roles, and it was only her fame obviously increased when her relationship with Harry was
Pretty
revealed.
remarkable calling her entitled when she's married into the most entitled family.
Yes. OK, so there are some new revelations in there about how Prince Harry's friends felt about Meghan in the early days of their relationship.
Yeah, so soon after Harry and Meghan's relationship was made public, Harry invited Meghan to a shooting trip in Sandringham for the weekend. 16 of his friends and their wives and girlfriends. And now, look, Harry's friends apparently did not like Meghan at all. There were lots of jokes about sexism, lots of un-PC topics, and Meghan reprimanded them about pretty much everything they said. Now, this is a quote. They said she was a real dampener, that she lacked any sense of humour, and driving home afterwards, they were sending texts between each other saying, OMG, what about her? One even said, Harry must be nuts. So she
didn't say nuts. What do they say now?
Effing nuts.
Well done.
So, look, certainly...
You're allowed to say that.
Hey, look, forgive me for jumping on the Meghan positivity train here, but if you took me on my second date to a shooting party where everyone was just sexist and ratty, I don't think they look good in that.
Look, and I can't blame Meghan here, especially she is an animal lover.
Anyway,
That's right, and I think anything like that would have been really hard to bear.
Well, I seem to recall her expressing discomfort around a family hunting trip as well that she was taken on early in the
blooding and all that sort of stuff. It's really...
Yeah, she never wanted to take part in the royal family's Boxing Day shoot after Christmas because of her animal. Look, and I agree with that. You know, if you don't want to put your own beliefs aside, it's really tough.
What about the Queen and Prince Charles then? Have they entered into this?
So they are said to be very, very irritated by Meghan's refusal to want to reconcile with her father. Now, soon after the royal wedding, Harry and Meghan were invited to stay with Charles and Camilla in Scotland, and it was then that there was a conference call between the Queen, Charles, Camilla, Harry and Meghan, and it was on that conference call that the Queen and Charles are said to have tried to convince Meghan to return to the US to try and reconcile with her dad because he'd been doing all these media interviews. Now, Meghan didn't want to. She believed that her father's phone was bugged, that any communication between the two would have been leaked to the media. She also believed that having a visit over to the US would create this media circus that would have looked bad on the royal family.
Matt, every time we talk about it, sounds like she's right again.
It does sound right here, but look, Charles and Camilla, and also, well, look, it is very scathing. The parts that I have read, certainly, it does not paint Meghan in a good light at all. But Charles and the Queen are said to be very, very irritated by Meghan's excuses about not wanting to make things good with her dad.
PR machines working in overdrive on both sides.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
so it's very hard for us to understand exactly where the truth lies, I think.
That's right.
With both parties here. Meantime, amidst all of this negative publicity, Harry and Meghan are set to appear in New York today. What's happening?
They are. They're going to the UN. So this will be Harry and Meghan's first post-Jubilee appearance. Now, Harry is going to be giving a speech at the United Nations for International Nelson Mandela Day. Now, this is going to be focused on food security and climate change. Meghan is not expected to speak at this point, but who knows with these two, she may do a surprise joint speech with Harry. But look, they have not commented publicly on this book as yet. But
Do you think this was timed?
Look, certainly, because the royal family at the moment, it's getting into the season where they start going on holiday, so there's not a whole lot of events. So certainly this book's timing is certainly being released at a time when it's going to get the most publicity, I believe. We're certainly talking about it today because there's not really much else going on.
Other stuff clouding it.
So there are rumours, though, that there's another Oprah interview in the works, so perhaps that could be...
A sequel?
Another
Oprah interview?
Rumours, we don't know.
Harry and Meghan?
There have been photographs of Meghan and Harry visiting Oprah. I mean, they do live very close together, so they could just be friends and having dinner. So we could be reading
Well, that
too
would
much into
surely
it.
be the nail in the coffin for that relationship.
Which one?
Harry with his family.
Oh, not with Oprah.
No, that's thriving, clearly.
They're besties.
Oh, that's a lot. What about Camilla?
Okay.
She's at least had a big milestone.
Camilla's doing things, you know, quietly behind the scenes as she does. She has turned 75 yesterday.
She looks good.
She looks wonderful.
Great.
These photos were taken at her country home by Getty photographer Chris Jackson. And those peaches, we can't quite see them there, but those peaches on the table, Camilla grew them herself. And she's very much a country woman at heart. So she is 75 now and certainly well on her way to reshaping her public image as she prepares to be Queen Consort one day. So very happy birthday to the Duchess of Cornwall.
Very good.
A puppy there too.
Thank you, Nat.
That's a rescue dog, one of her rescue dogs, Beth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Once again, you prove that you are across every detail. You don't miss
From the
a thing.
peaches to the puppies.
You've got it all. Sounds like a book. Thank you. That'll be yours one
Thank
day.
you.
See you, Nat.